Peace. This is a Meat and Potato Social production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is you do know all this has been planned. Now, there's been a rash of shootings, and right now, human life is at a low premium. And that's very unfortunate because trauma can last for a lifetime. So we've just seen the shooting that happened in Highland Park, Illinois, with Robert Crimo, aka Awake the rapper. And we've also seen the shooting in Philadelphia. And right now, as we're speaking, police in New York are quitting. Anyone who's lived in Jersey or New York knows for a fact New York is going back to how it was in the 80s and the early 90s when Ed Koch was mayor. This was before Bellagio, and you had Michael Bloomberg and then Giuliani. So they're going way back. But this has been planned, and I say this because here's how the clandestine orders work. You don't want to give us something? We're going to make your life so hard, you'll be begging us. You will be begging us to get involved. Okay, you get to keep guns in New York, or so you thought, and then what happened? The shooting started accelerating. And I always challenge people, when you're on this path, become a credible research and do your homework. And I'm going to give two examples. The first example I'm going to give, both of these books were written in 1991. Now, why is 1991 so significant? Rodney King, Persian Gulf, George Bush Sr. was president, and this was the golden age of hip hop, which lasted from 88 to 92. So, the first book was The Unseen Hand by A. Ralph Epperson. The second book, and is a classic in its own right, was Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. Both of these books were written 31 years ago, and they talked about the school shootings and how those was going to happen, and they talked about the wave of violence. But this is something that many people leave out. They leave out talking about, and this was, you can highlight this from Behold a Pale Horse, how men would be emasculated. Men wouldn't be men no more. And I know a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm seeing this, but how could it be like this? Because it was already pre-planned for men to not be what men should be. So right now, you got a lot of people with bachelor's and master's degree from Simp State University. Okay? Facts. And the thing is, with this country, you have bad food, bad religion, and you have isfet, or imbalance. There is no balance between men and women. And I've already went over equality. So there's an imbalance now, but this was talked about, where they just wanted men to just do whatever the woman wanted that made her happy, just do it. And most people say, like, well, what's wrong with that? It's nothing wrong with making anybody happy, but you don't make nobody happy at the expense of yourself. That's what's wrong with it. So people say, well, who needs an AR-15? I've heard this argument. Do you think they just gonna stop with one gun? They're not gonna stop. America doesn't even have that history. If they come after one thing, they're gonna come after something else. And then people want to turn this into a partisan issue. It isn't about a partisan issue, because people who want this return of Donald Trump, what happened on his watch? The pandemic. And what's happening with Joe Biden right now? Everything. Inflation, recession, monkeypox, and the rash of violence everywhere. Even Akron, Ohio, and they have a curfew there. You have to be in at 9 o'clock. Do you know that there's curfews in China, Australia? Everything they're doing has been planned, but they know they have to do it in increments. And they're not really so much worried about men fighting back. You know what they know you're going to do, because they don't even lose no sleep at night. They know the majority of men and women ain't going to do nothing but get out their camera phones. That's all they going to do. Get out your camera phones. Many of y'all may march, and you got to call Reverend Porkchop so he can hold a press conference about how appalled he is. They know your playbook. Your playbook is so easy because you've been running the same playbook for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 decades. Running the same playbook since Jack Kennedy was president, and that was 1960. And he got killed by his own people November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas, Texas. So all this is planned, and you're going to have to get creative all the way around the board. All the way around the board. Because many people, they say chicken has went up. People aren't even buying chicken. That's down by 36%. Some people have eliminated beef altogether, and now they're going to be pushing more and more synthetic foods, which is going to alter the DNA. That's all. So do your research, get creative, and then when they do something, they're so brazen with it, they'll write about it. They'll write about what they're going to do. You can go back, and even before then, you can go back to a book written by Gary Allen, 1976, The Rockefeller Files. Go to that. So people saying, oh, well, they're operating in secret. All warfare is done in secret. It's just in the case here in the United States, some people will write about it, but they know that many people are functionally illiterate. They know once you graduate high school or you leave college, you don't want to read. You want to consume, you want to be afraid, and you just want to be entertained. They're well aware of this. So this was all planned. So the thing is, with any plan, you have to always have a contingency one after that. What's your contingency? So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.